Imagine a life where every desire is instantly fulfilled, every comfort is a given, and every dream is within arm's reach. Sounds like paradise, right? But what if I told you that for some, this utopian existence isn't a blessing, but a curse disguised as privilege? What if the very things we spend our lives striving for, wealth, status, endless possibility, are actually building a gilded cage around an insidious, unspoken affliction, luxury boredom? This isn't the kind of boredom you feel on a rainy Sunday afternoon, scrolling through streaming services with nothing to watch. This is something far more profound, a deep existential ache that gnaws at the soul, amplified by the very lack of struggle. It's the silent epidemic among the ultra-privileged, the unacknowledged burden of having everything. We talk about poverty, we talk about stress, we talk about burnout, all very real and pressing issues. But why does the concept of luxury boredom remain almost entirely ignored, dismissed, or even mocked? Could it be that admitting such a thing exists challenges our fundamental understanding of what it means to be human and what it truly means to be happy? To understand this peculiar form of inner torment, we first need to peel back the layers of our collective aspirations, to look beyond the glittering facades and delve into the psychological landscape of those who, by all outward appearances, should be living their best lives. To grasp the chilling reality of luxury boredom, we must first confront a fundamental human truth. We are, at our core, problem-solving creatures. Our brains are hardwired for challenge, for growth, for overcoming obstacles. This isn't just a philosophical idea, it's an evolutionary imperative. For millennia, our ancestors faced daily struggles for survival, finding food, building shelter, avoiding danger. These challenges, while arduous, provided a constant sense of purpose and a clear metric for success or failure. But what happens when those fundamental challenges are completely eradicated? What happens when the only problems left are manufactured, or so trivial they fail to engage the mind's intrinsic desire for meaning? Consider the concept of the hedonic treadmill. This psychological theory suggests that humans constantly return to a relatively stable level of happiness, despite major positive or negative events. You buy a new car, you get a raise, you achieve a long-sought goal. There's a surge of joy, certainly. But that feeling, research shows, is fleeting. We quickly adapt to our new normal, and what once brought excitement becomes merely the baseline. For those living in extreme luxury, this treadmill spins at an unprecedented speed. Every new yacht, every private island, every exclusive experience quickly loses its luster. There's always a bigger or better thing, but the satisfaction derived from acquiring it diminishes with each successive achievement. The novelty wears off faster, the thrill less potent, until the pursuit itself becomes a tedious, joyless exercise. Then there's the paradox of choice. While having options typically makes us happier, an overwhelming number of choices can lead to anxiety, decision fatigue, and ultimately dissatisfaction. Imagine having unlimited funds, unlimited time, and every opportunity laid at your feet. Where do you go? What do you do? Who do you become? The sheer breadth of possibility, rather than liberating, can be paralyzing. The weight of choosing wisely when every option is seemingly perfect can lead to an inability to choose at all, resulting in inertia and a pervasive sense of unfulfillment. A friend of mine, a trust fund baby, once confessed, "Sometimes I wish I had to work a minimum wage job. At least then I'd know what I don't want to do." That simple statement speaks volumes about the debilitating nature of infinite freedom. The societal context further amplifies this unique struggle. From childhood, those born into extreme wealth are often shielded from consequences. Failures are mitigated, paths are cleared, and the natural learning curve of life is flattened. This can lead to a lack of resilience, an underdeveloped sense of delayed gratification, and a fragile ego ill-equipped to handle even minor setbacks. Moreover, the constant pressure to maintain a certain image, to appear eternally happy and successful, prevents open discussion of such internal struggles. To admit to boredom, to emptiness, when you have everything is to invite judgment, ridicule, and a profound sense of guilt. It's perceived as ungrateful, an insult to those who truly struggle. Thus, luxury boredom becomes a deeply isolating experience, a silent scream behind soundproof walls. As this profound and often unspoken ennui deepens, it begins to manifest in increasingly destructive ways. The internal void, the gnawing absence of purpose, becomes intolerable. For some, the search for meaning becomes an increasingly desperate and dangerous game. We've seen stories, often sensationalized, of the ultra-rich engaging in extreme sports, high-stakes gambling, or risky business ventures that defy logic. These aren't always about financial gain. They are often an attempt to feel something. The rush of adrenaline, the thrill of uncertainty, the brief glimpse of an obstacle to overcome. It's a manufactured struggle, an artificial dose of purpose in a life devoid of natural friction. Others fall prey to addiction. When reality offers no intrinsic excitement, external stimuli become a crutch. Drugs, alcohol, sex, shopping, anything that can temporarily fill the void, dull the ache, or provide a fleeting sense of intensity. The consequences, of course, are often devastating, but the root cause remains unaddressed, hidden beneath layers of privilege and professional intervention. We see the downward spiral, the scandals, the public meltdowns, but rarely do we connect these seemingly self-destructive behaviors to the insidious creep of luxury boredom. It's easier to label it moral failing than to acknowledge the deep psychological distress that can arise from a life of effortless abundance. Perhaps the most heartbreaking manifestation is the slow erosion of relationships. When one's own life lacks direction, it often impacts those around them. Friends and family can feel like accessories, easily replaced or discarded. The inability to form genuine connections rooted in shared struggle or mutual support leaves individuals profoundly isolated, even within their opulent bubbles. There's a cynicism that can set in, a belief that everyone is after something, precisely because for many in their orbit that is often the case. Trust becomes scarce, and the genuine warmth of human connection feels like an impossible dream. This leads to a vicious cycle. Isolation feeds boredom, and boredom further erodes the capacity for meaningful relationship. What they discovered next, or rather failed to discover, was true satisfaction. The constant need for more, the endless pursuit of fleeting pleasure, failed to deliver the profound fulfillment that comes from earned achievement, from contributing to something larger than oneself, from overcoming adversity. It's a subtle corruption of the human spirit, a slow draining of vitality that happens not through hardship but through its complete absence. Imagine a person who has always been given the answer to every puzzle. Eventually, they lose the capacity and even the desire to solve puzzles at all. Their intellectual muscles atrophy, their curiosity wanes, and a deep intellectual laziness takes hold, disguised as effortless superiority. This isn't just about financial wealth. It extends to intellectual and experiential wealth too. When every experience is curated, every lesson predigested, the raw, transformative power of genuine exploration is lost. To this day, the conversation around luxury boredom remains largely absent from public discourse. It's a taboo, a topic that elicits more scorn than sympathy. Yet ignoring it doesn't make it disappear. Instead, it perpetuates a silent suffering among a segment of the population that, despite all outward appearances, is struggling with a unique and profound form of emptiness. It reminds us that humanity's deepest needs transcend material comfort. We need purpose, we need challenge, we need connection, and we need the transformative power of struggle to truly appreciate our triumphs. Perhaps by acknowledging and understanding luxury boredom, we can gain deeper insights not only into the lives of the privileged but also into the universal human quest for meaning, reminding us that true wealth lies not in what we possess, but in the purpose we pursue. If you want more mysteries like these, the next video explores the psychology behind why some lottery winners end up more miserable than before their big win.